Hello and welcome. You're watching India First. I'm Pooja Shali. There is going to be India's biggest demolition on 28th of August, just 5 days to go. But it's going to be, though, a controlled explosion like none other that India has seen. And that's why it's a special telecast on India First today. I'll be getting you all the latest. Let's begin first with the headlines. T. Raja Singh, suspended by the party, arrested by the Hyderabad cops, but also now released on bail. Protests also breaking out in different parts of Hyderabad. In Karnataka, former Chief Minister Yediyurappa flags off a Rath Yatra and calls Savarkar a son of soul of India. This becoming a biggest flashpoint in the state of election-bound Karnataka. Liquorgate dangal continues from Delhi to Gujarat to now Telangana as well. Kejriwal says his deputy Manish Sisodia could be arrested any time in the next few days. But even in Telangana, you're looking at the BJP chief, Bandi Sanjay, who's been taken into arrest and by the police with regard to allegations against KCR's daughter. In a big development with regard to the court that is likely to now hear the plea challenging the remission of these convicts with regard to the Bilkis Bano gang rape case. Flood fury and monsoon mayhem continues in several parts of the country. In Madhya Pradesh to Odisha, inundated houses, submerged areas, including residential localities, vehicles being washed away. On 28th of August, just 5 days on, Supertech twin towers are going to be demolished in a controlled explosion. Remember specifically, the neighbors around are awaiting in fear and panic. We are talking about 32-story building that is going to be now detonated in the next few days. We are being told that 3,500 kilograms of explosives have already been drilled into this building that you're looking at on your screens. Take a look now at this report that will give you more details about what exactly is going to be this big news coming in from Noida. Remember, a 9-second explosion, but mega preparation already for the 100-meter tall Twin Towers, biggest demolition India is likely to see.
The countdown to the biggest ever demolition seen in India has begun. On August 28 at 2:30 p.m., 2 towers that have violated building norms will be brought down in Noida. 3,500 kilograms of explosives will be used to bring down the 2 Supertech towers which rise nearly 100 meters above the ground. This 32-story structure is expected to come down in less than 10 seconds.
सुपरटेक के जो 2 टावर हैं जिनको डिमोलिश करने के लिए माननीय उच्चतम न्यायालय से आदेश प्राप्त हुआ था, तो जो एडिफिस इंजीनियरिंग कंपनी है उसने हमको एनओसी के लिए एक प्रार्थना पत्र दिया था, जिसके आधार पर कल मैंने उनको एनओसी जारी कर दी है और एनओसी में जो भी टर्म और कंडीशन है वो सब लिख दी भी गई हैं और ये एक्सप्लोसिव जो नियम हैं उनके अंतर्गत दी गई है.
A South African company, experts at demolition of tall structures, has already fitted the explosives in one of the towers, Ceyane. Around 9,400 holes will be drilled in the columns and shears of the skeleton structure of the towers. Residents in a radius of 2 kilometers have been told to move out of their homes at 7 a.m. on Sunday and return only at 4 p.m. More than 1,200 cars are being shifted out.
It's as simple as the fact that we have to get out at 7 a.m. or before on the day and be back anytime after 4 p.m. once it's been vetted that the buildings are safe to be reoccupied. Having said that, there is no other further information.
There is a large amount of apprehension in the mind and heart, and of course we are extremely worried, and so we are doing a lot of things, planning in our minds whether to keep, carry all the documents, or whether to, place all our wall-mounted TVs and paintings on the bed, how to safeguard the glass doors. So a lot of things on the mind, and yes, a lot of apprehensions as well.
A huge contingent of UP police will be deployed to ensure curious onlookers don't get anywhere close to the towers as they are reduced to rubble. Bureau Report, India Today.
Mega spectacle, but also mega preparation to ensure there's no collateral damage, because the vicinity neighbors are in fear. Many of them are even going to be evacuated. We are being told at least 5,000 residents have been given advisories to leave the area for the weekend. Our reporters have been trying to get updates from the ground from different angles. This ground report coming in by my colleague Abhishek Anand right outside the Emerald Court. This is a society which neighbors the Supertech Twin Towers. In fact, is adjacent right where to these twin towers are located. Abhishek sends us this report.
All roads in the 2-kilometer radius of the Supertech Twin Towers will be shut for half an hour on Sunday. The Supertech Twin Towers are scheduled to be demolished at around 2:30 p.m. on Sunday. The Greater Noida Expressway, the metro which connects Noida to Greater Noida, and all the arterial road around this area in the radius of 2 kilometers will be shut. Right now, no authorized person is allowed to cross this barricade because these buildings have been charged. Charge is a technical term for placement of explosives, tube explosives in form of a mixture of PETN and other plastic explosives have been put inside the columns and inside the basement of the building. This building will implode and it will be collapsed inside the premises of this boundary of Supertech Twin Towers. Now, the residents are still worried, but the kind of security measures are taken. I will try to show you. These are the curtains which have been put to prevent any kind of stray debris which can fly towards this Emerald Court in which people are still living, and the kind of packing has been done. All the floors where explosives have been put have been packed by special materials so that any stray debris can be caught in those packings. The distance between Emerald Court and the Supertech Twin Tower is a major cause of concern because it's only 9 meters away. All these people will vacate their houses and they will be shifted in nearby societies, party halls and community halls, and many of them are going to their relatives' house and many of them are also going to the hotels. With camera person Himanshu, this is Abhishek Anand reporting for India Today. क्या प्लान है सर, कैसे आप लोगों ने इससे निपटेंगे?
सर निपटना क्या, बस एक दिन पहले हम लोग शिफ्ट होंगे यहाँ से। आरडब्ल्यू का कहना तो ये है कि अर्ली मॉर्निंग 7 हम लोग शिफ्ट हो सकते हैं, बट हम लोग अपने कन्वीनियंस के अकॉर्डिंग एक दिन पहले ही शिफ्ट हो जाएंगे। और जो पुरानी वीडियोस देखी हैं उसमें धुआं कितना होता है, कितने उसका एक्सप्लोजिव्स का यूज, जैसे 4 टन ऑफ एक्सप्लोजिव दे आर गोइंग टू यूज, तो एक तो उससे धड़कन भी काफी होएगी और उससे बिल्डिंग को भी इशू हो सकता है।
So if you're wondering what this Twin Towers, India's biggest demolition, is going to look like, I have it all covered for you. There's a visual representation that we have prepared now to help you understand. Remember, this is an explosion like no other in a residential locality, a busy vicinity in Noida, which is Delhi NCR region. So there are two towers, as you can see, the Apex and the Ceyane tower. These are the twin towers of the Supertech that have been deemed illegal by the top court and now have to be demolished. What does it mean? 3,500 kilograms of explosives have been drilled. Look closely on these red dots on the two towers. The explosives have already been drilled, inserted onto each floor of this building. How have they done it? 9,000 holes where it has been drilled and filled with explosives. So that system in skeleton is now ready. Of course, with a remote controlled detonation, this building is going to come down and implode. They're going to make it swift, precise planning which is needed. It's likely to also be like a waterfall, which will be an inward collapse to ensure that there is no collateral damage either of property or life. And remember, this is no easy job. There are a team of engineers and demolition experts who have been ensured that this gets carried out successfully, cautiously, and of course the manner in which it needs to be done without any harm. But of course, understandably, as you can see closely, there are other buildings in the vicinity in Noida, very close to this area. I want you to understand what the neighbors are thinking right now. We're talking about the Emerald Court. Emerald Court is just 9 meters away. That's no distance really for a residential locality facing a demolition of this stature. Just 9 meters away from the Twin Towers, and then there's the Astor 2 Tower as well, which is again 9 meters away. Take a look at the ATS Green Village. This now also faces a wall with the Twin Towers there, and therefore this is just about 35 meters from the Twin Towers. What we are being told is about 5,000 residents are going to be evacuated from this area for the weekend with their property, with their family members and pets included, so that any sort of demolition, explosion, collapse does not cause any other casualty. It is going to be controlled. The security apparatus is on the job, but nobody wants to take chances as well. So what are the neighbors of these two areas and neighboring buildings have to say? Nabila Jamal, my colleague, went on the ground to speak to local residents, tried to get an assessment about what really is the ground situation near the Supertech Twin Towers. She sent us this ground report just about a short while ago. Take a look.
The much talked about Supertech Twin Towers of the ATS is right behind me here with explosives 3,500 kgs that have been layered, and every floor will be detonated simultaneously on the 28th of August. It's going to be quite a sight for residents across to watch, and also a point of worry. Of course, the sound, the pollution, the dust that this would result in is something that residents are concerned. So many of them actually taking off for a weekend, not willing to stay in the vicinity until this drive is done. So most of those buildings that you see, ATS as well as Emerald Towers there, all have packed their buildings with white sheets so that they prevent dust from coming into those windows in the houses right neighboring to that ATS building. But it's very interesting to see how this demolition will be carried out, because it's been years that residents locally have been fighting for this to go down, and once this goes down, all that debris will be moved out to a designated location. Cars in the vicinity will be allowed to park at a special multi-facility parking allotted by the Noida authorities. So it seems like this entire demolition drive is fully under control by that company as well as Noida authorities. India Today on top of this story. With camera person Nasir, Nabila Jamal for India Today. I'm right here at the Emerald Towers, which is right next to the Twin Towers, Supertech Twin Towers, a fully charged building at this point, 3,500 kgs of explosives that have been fitted into layers of this building, 40 floors. This building will be gone in 9 seconds. That's precisely the promise made by the company Edifice carrying out this demolition drive. It's, of course, gathered quite a lot of attention, considering it's a huge tower. Many towers and local residences living around here are quite worried about if at all they'll be safe and their apartments are not going to be affected. I'm right here with some of those residents of Emerald Tower, which is absolutely next to the Twin Towers here, and it seems like they're the residents who in fact reached court as well, because this illegally built Twin Towers is barely 9 meters away from Emerald. Anything in particular you're doing for the pollution that might erupt?
That the authority and the safety measures, all they have to take care, and they are doing. their best.
As far as complex is concerned, we are doing.
Inside we are putting our preparation, we are putting sheets and all our installations in the green area. And wherever things will be affected,
We are covering whatever is possible.
we are covering.
You see these white sheets?
Yeah,
These are the ones that have been covered by edifice
That
to
we
make
have
sure
put
of the,
for us, for
to
us.
make sure that
Dust doesn't come near
the nearby towers are well taken care
We
of.
have taken care.
You know, finally, a quick word. It's barely 9 meters away from Emerald Towers, your home. Yeah, you're barely 9 meters away from your home. So when this building came up, you know, what was the kind of worry that you had?
I hadn't moved in at that time, but I know I've heard that people were very worried because this building blocked the sun, the wind, everything. The view was completely blocked. It was like they were surrounded by a metal and a wall of brick. So, well, it was very hard.
That chapter is completed now. Now we are doing a D-Day. No,
You're ready for the D.
we are doing for D-Day now. That all things have been taken care by the honorable court.
Great.
It was a sub-judice matter. And our teams who have worked hard on this, UVS Tutoria and other members, this is their achievement, and we are also happy that.
More importantly, and like you said, when this building came up, no sunlight. I'm assuming there was a lot of talk that even an ambulance couldn't fit in through that lane here. So in every way, you're hoping for the sunshine to be back on the Emerald building, which is right next to the super towers, the twin towers, which will be demolished in barely 9 seconds. And this, as per the company that's demolishing it, says that this will go down like water. 9 seconds, explosives will be triggered. It will go down in barely 9 seconds, and that's it. The end of the Twin Towers on the 28th of August, 2:30 p.m. Coming super close to the Supertech Twin Towers, it's quite massive. Looking at it from here, one can only imagine this 40-floor building dropping down in barely 9 seconds. It's unbelievable. We're certainly going to be in awe when this actually happens. But for now, what we know is that this building is supercharged. It's fully charged, highly sensitive zone, fully cordoned off, can't go inside quite naturally. And this building has explosives layered at every floor. So it's a soft tube-like structure. Basically, the explosives made in a tube-like structure that is all flattened across each floor, drilled through the holes and placed in every floor of this building. So one can only imagine the kind of effort that's gone into actually rigging this full building to detonate it simultaneously so that it goes down in 9 seconds. They claim that it will go down simultaneously like water. Literally in 9 seconds, like water, the building will melt down, quite literally. So all the debris will be moved out to a designated location, which Noida authorities have located. They've, in fact, identified a place where all the debris could be moved. And all the residents in the locality, vicinity here around this Supertech Twin Towers, most of them, like this Emerald Tower here as well, most of them are going to be evacuated. Residents will be evacuated a day prior. Cars parked in the area as well will be moved out. They will also be given a 2-story multi-parking facility, in fact, by the Noida authorities itself. And a lot of the residents here say that they want to go on a weekend, stay out somewhere and come back when the dust settles. So there is some kind of fear, but since this company edifice has already done a similar demolition drive in the past in Kochi, it appears that they know what they're doing, and we hope that this is certainly a safe affair. With camera person Nasir, Nabila Jamal for India Today. So while the neighbours, specifically in the vicinity, had championed the cause, to which the top court had said that these are illegal skyscrapers, the question is, what is the concern then of many of these residents with regard to, even if the authorities are saying it will be a controlled explosion? Let me now bring you some of the details about the concerns that the Noida residents around in this area have. Now, of course, on top is damage to their property. Remember, it's a residential area, and therefore in the vicinity they fear that with the collapse of this building there could be a neighborhood collapse as well, and that is why about 5,000 residents are likely to be evacuated over the weekend. Now, what about the demolition impact in the green area? What does that mean? That means, if you saw clearly, there were, apart from the neighborhood of the residential areas, there's also a forest area, green area. What about the dust that will go with the debris onto that area and will ruin that green space as well? Now, clearly the dust hazard remains on trouble, because we're talking about at least 40,000 tons of debris. What happens to that? What about the snoot-like debris that could go on to neighboring buildings and get attached and then split on the windows and the doors and apartments of neighborhood? who will take care of that debris? The Noida Authority officials will have to ensure that this massive debris after the controlled explosion will have to be removed as well. We're talking about all that, remember, cement construction work that would now come down of more than 30 stories. And of course, there will be many residents who do fear a respiratory irritation with the smoke and the dust that is likely to be in the air at least for the next few days. Take a look now about what my colleague Ashutosh Mishra also sent us from this area, talking to locals, talking to senior police officials and getting us a ground status. Here's more.
Finally, the moment of D-Day has been decided. 2:30 p.m. on 28th August. Following the Supreme Court verdict, the structure and perhaps called mirror of corruption, the Twin Tower of Noida, will be demolished at 2:30 on 28th August. All preparations are in final shape. This entire area has been cordoned off. No one allowed except the safety in charge, the project in charge, the officials. 3,500 kgs of explosive being used. Perhaps after Kerala, this would be just second such project when the high-rise structure will be demolished using the explosive. However, this terrain is totally different. Looking at the close proximity of the residential towers, where still people are living both the side of these twin towers, they will be safely evacuated from this place before the blast takes off. An entire team of 6 people will carry out the demolition drive, one after another blast simultaneously within the differences of half of the millisecond, and perhaps when it will be heard, it will be one major big boom sound. When the blast will take place, the explosive will trigger and demolish this entire structure, and then the gravity will work, will bring down this entire debris. Of course, that will take a time to settle, but just in few seconds, the entire structure will be demolished. However, the people, those who are living in the adjacent areas, who even raised voice against this structure, are a bit apprehensive, but their safety issues have been addressed by the administration. All eyes are at 2:30 on 28th August.
आप देख रहे होंगे ट्विन टावर के जो सामने वाला रोड है उसको कई दिन से प्रतिबंधित कर दिया गया है और यहाँ निरंतर ट्रैफिक ड्यूटी रहती है।
किसी तरह की ऐसी इमरजेंसी स्थिति होती है, मेडिकल इमरजेंसी होती है, उसके लिए आप लोग कितने तैयार हैं?
पहले तो मैं ये बताना चाहूँगा कि हम लोग किसी भी अनहोनी के लिए तैयार हैं और हम लोग मुझे ये लगता है कि इतना सेफ ब्लास्ट है, दिक्कत नहीं आनी चाहिए। लेकिन आपने सही सवाल किया है कि कोई अगर इमरजेंसी आती है तो हमने इमरजेंसी रूट भी चयनित किया है।
32 stories, twin towers, 1,000 apartments, 9-second demolition controlled explosion. All eyes will be on 28th of August and we'll be tracking the latest as well. I'm wrapping up India First.